Levinson, Managing Partner with Levinson and Associates. And with us today, we have Joseph Loughran, our Marketing Vice President. And then we have our special guest speaker, Steve Johnson, who helped create our IUL Sales software presentation system. So we are delighted to have Steve joining us on the call today, and he's going to dive into the software and show you exactly how it works and how to position IUL against other investment-type products. So we have some great stuff to come. We also have a brand new indexed UL that was just released within about 10 days. So the product is awesome, very, very competitive. What I love about this, it's simplified issue, non-med, up to $1 million. They have a tele app, so you can sell this over the phone. The product includes living benefits and even a 48-hour turnaround time if your client falls into that non-med program under $1 million. So this is the first time that a competitive IUL has been sold on a platform like this up to $1 million. Okay, in the past, of course, they had non-med IUL, but there was always a price the client had to pay for that convenience. So now you have a product that literally competes with the best of them, okay, but you can turn this around in 48 hours with no blood or urine and sell over the phone using a tele app. And even most important, include living benefit riders at no extra charge. So we have some great stuff here. And what I suggest, like always, take out a pen and paper because we go pretty quickly and you're going to learn a lot about our sales software and about some new products that we have here at Levinson that all are combined into this IUL selling platform. So some great stuff to come, and my advice and suggestion to you, if you've never sold an IUL, okay, let's just say maybe you sell a bunch of term insurance, health insurance, which is great, even P&C, now is the time where you can jump in, get your feet wet, learn how to use the software, and this will be an easy sale for you once you have your hands wrapped around this. It's definitely worthwhile for you. And as we know, the premiums on a typical IUL policy, okay, start at a few $1,000s and go up to hundreds of thousands. So the commissions are there, and it's a win-win because your client is benefiting with the best, in my opinion, investment life insurance product that's available in the market space today. So great, great stuff to come. We're going to first start off with a few slides that we want to dive into with some new additions to Levinson and Associates. And Joe is going to dive into the brand new IUL from Principal Life, and then we're going to introduce our feature speaker, Steve Johnson. So without further ado, Joseph Loughran will take it from here.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. I just want to go through a couple highlights. Like you mentioned, the index marketplace is kind of always been very exciting. We're seeing a lot more sales, and with the introduction of this new IUL product, I think it really fills a really, really large void for a lot of clients that are interested in index UL, but don't want to go through traditional underwriting, and they want something very quickly and easily. So I'm going to hit on some of the topics, the hot topics of this new IUL product. Like Bill mentioned, there is an accelerated underwriting program, which I'll get into in a couple slides, but a couple of unique things about this product. You can actually issue it all the way up to age 85, which is pretty unique. The minimum death benefit does start at just $50,000. A lot of index UL products start at $100,000, which kind of gives us a limited view of what we can do. But with a smaller death benefit, of course, we can overfund the product even that much more, showing that much more accrued cash value. One other great thing I want to point out in this product is the riders that come with this product are pretty unique. You actually have a chronic illness death benefit advance, which I'll dive into in a couple slides, which is available at absolutely no cost. Most products do charge you for that chronic illness rider, but this product makes it available at no additional cost whatsoever up front. There's also a very, very unique surrender value enhancement rider for business type policies. You'll notice on this product the surrender charge is actually just 10 years. Most products we deal with a 15-year type of surrender charge so that the client's not getting access to the full cash value until the end of the 15th year. With this product, we're just looking at a 10-year type of period, but if you add that waiver of surrender charge rider, that client's going to have much more liquidity much earlier on in that IUL contract. Of course, when it comes to Index Universal Life, it's not only just important to have great accumulation, but also really, really great annual income or distributions out of that contract. So this next slide actually takes the principal new IUL and it puts it side by side with other top IUL carriers like Minnesota Life, Lincoln, AXA, even American General and Prudential. So this will give you an idea of just how competitive this product is. In this example, we're just illustrating 6.9%. You can see it's just neck and neck with Minnesota Life, which is actually illustrated at 7.1%. So really competitive with cash value growth, extremely competitive with annual income. And if you do need any illustrations on the product, just reach out to the marketing team. We can run any type of scenario. We can even just kind of maximize those distributions by changing the death benefit option for you once you start taking income. But some really, really great things we've been able to do with this new product. Probably one of the more popular things with the principal product is their accelerated underwriting program. This is for all clients up to age 60. We've been able to actually get up to $1 million of coverage in just as little as 48 hours. I'll say that again, $1 million of coverage in as little as 48 hours. We actually had a couple scenarios. I would say it was about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, but we had an agent of ours who was dealing with a client who was taking out a business loan to actually purchase a new building in a wealthy California neighborhood, and the bank basically said, look, we'll do this right away, but we need a business loan for $1 million to cover the cost in case something happens, and they needed it like yesterday. So we actually used this accelerating program. The client did the telephone interview, and they approved that policy and actually got coverage and got issued in about 48 hours. So it's a great program for those clients that meet the criteria. Some other great underwriting niches that Principal has really excelled at is people that use occasional cigars that will test negative. They can get non-tobacco rates. They do have some great guaranteed issue programs for the business marketplace as well. So when it comes to underwriting, this is definitely a top carrier to look at. One thing I do want to focus on before we move on from this product is the living benefits that are included. Like I mentioned before, there's a chronic illness rider available at no additional cost. Some other great things is there's no elimination period. Most of the Index UL products that have some sort of acceleration, whether it's chronic or critical, they actually have a 90-day elimination period. So that client isn't going to receive any acceleration until that 90 days are up. With this product, there's no elimination period. There's no additional underwriting. There's no receipts that are needed. So once they qualify for this chronic illness rider, again, that doesn't cost them anything on the policy. They're going to actually get the maximum accelerated benefit, which is the lesser of 25% of the death benefit or the IRS annualized per diem. So it's a great product, great riders. If you're writing Index Universal Life, you know, we do have some other top carriers, but with this product coming on the marketplace, it just gives us a really, really great niche for clients that do not want to go through the lengthy underwriting process, but still want a very competitive product. So it's definitely one of our top IUL plans, especially if you pair it with the software that we're going to dive into today. You can really bring a lot of great value to that client and give them a quick and easy option to get the coverage in force.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Okay, just a few things, too, I want to mention before we move forward is we are going to give away a free tablet at the end of today's presentation. So whoever was the 100th registrant on today's webinar, your name will be announced at the end of the presentation, and we'll mail your tablet out this week, so you will have it early next week. So we will announce that in about 25, 30 more minutes here. Also, everybody on the call will get an email, okay, and we'll include, of course, all the information about our IUL Sales software and then brochures on the new Principal product, and then we'll touch on a few other things that we went over on the presentation. But if you have any questions, and we encourage this, just pick up the phone, call any one of our marketers here. Everybody is up to speed with Indexed Universal Life in our office, or of course you can email us anytime, or even ask for me or Joe, whoever you're comfortable speaking with. We'll get you all the information and make sure that you're comfortable with everything that we're going over so you can go out and present this to a prospect as early as this evening. Okay, also, we feel that as far as life insurance and annuity marketing, that we have the top products and companies that are available in today's market space. Okay, all of the carriers in front of you, in my opinion, are the best carriers for Index UL. If you notice, they're all A-rated or better, and they each one kind of has a certain niche in the market space. So we'll just start off here with North American. They're very well known in the IUL space. They have a waiver of surrender charges rider. Okay, that's part of the policy. With Lincoln, table shave program to age 70. Now, what this means, it's important to keep this in the back of your mind, because let's just say there's another agent that's writing your client and you're up against some competition. If they're rated table 1, 2, or 3, Lincoln will shave those tables off and give you a placeable standard non-tobacco with no table rating, where you can save literally 40 to 50% off of the old premium. So imagine you talked about winning over a client, you will come through looking like a superhero. Also, tobacco, they consider all tobacco except cigarettes standard non-tobacco. So that's another big plus there. Minnesota Life, A-plus rated, great cash accumulation. Mutual of Omaha, great name as we all know. Living benefits for all rate classes, that's big. AIG, they have an awesome living benefits rider, very competitive underwriting. Now, their table ratings are about 20% less than the competition. So, in other words, for anyone maybe not perfectly healthy or rated up, AIG or Lincoln's a great place to go. Allianz, A-plus rated, great name out there in that IUL space, especially indexed annuity world. Allianz is very well known with let's say, local CPAs that you may work with or come across. Life of the Southwest on the bottom, they were the originator with IUL, A-rated, guaranteed income rider, and some great living benefits as well. Now, we are a direct IMO with all of these carriers, and to use the IUL Sales software, you do have to be active and appointed with at least one of these carriers under Levinson. Okay, it's a co-op program. We pay for the entire charge of the software as long as you're writing business. So keep that in the back of your mind. We'll sell out all of the requirements. After today's call, you'll see everything detailed as far as minimum premium requirement and how we do pay for the entire fee as long as you're active in writing with us. So that's very important there. Okay, so let's move forward. Joe is going to talk about a new consumer marketing tool that all of our agents can use to prospect, and then we'll give you just a 50-foot overview of the IUL Sales software and introduce Steve. Joe, you there?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So I just wanted to point this out. We actually went over this on the last webinar, and a lot of agents used it and thought it to be very, very helpful. This is actually a tool that was put out by one of our IUL carriers. We will send the link out this afternoon, but it's actually an interactive consumer marketing tool specifically designed for Index Universal Life. So the idea is that the client actually goes to the link, they put in a little bit of information about themselves, and then it actually walks them through what an Index Universal Life policy is, the different uses for that product, and then based on what they click on and what their concerns are, it actually tailors the product to their specific needs. So this is a great tool to use to kind of maybe send to a client before you actually have a conversation or dive into their specific scenario, but it kind of helps set the stage. It helps educate the client. Just a great tool from American General. We will send that out after the call today, and everybody can actually use that. We even had some agents put that on their agent websites that we provide, or even their social media pages as well, just to kind of help clients understand this product is really a great tool that has been underused. So again, we'll get that out today. Real quickly here, before I don't want to steal any of Steve's thunder, I do want to give everybody a quick overview of what you're about to see, which in our eyes has been one of the simplest, easiest to use, yet most comprehensive tools available to an agent to present Index Universal Life. This platform is normally about fee, but for all Levinson agents, we're providing it at absolutely no cost for the first 4 months. All you have to pay is a penny, and then you basically get the software for free. Those agents that actually write a small amount of Index Universal Life business actually get an additional 12 months at no cost whatsoever. So we do pay for that software once you use it, and I think you'll see once you actually get started with the program how this can really add a lot of value to your practice. It's been helping agents win more cases and write more IUL business than ever before. The way that it will work is all agents who are appointed with one of our Index Universal Life carriers will actually receive the link to actually go ahead and sign up and get started with this platform as soon as we're done with the call today. So keep your eyes peeled for that. You will receive that email with that link to go ahead and get started. And here's the second screenshot. Bill's going to kind of dive into some of the other tools that are embedded right into the same exact sales platform.
Yep, so there's a whole agent and client training section that you can really just sit and dive into all of the videos. You can explain how an IUL works to your clients, explain market risk, basically everything needed for you to get your arms around IUL and the sales software system and your client so they can understand what they're buying into. Everything is at your fingertips. You can either load this up on your laptop, turn the screen around, show a client if you're in a one-to-one meeting. Everything is right here and, of course, co-branded. So you can get started as early as this evening. So as long as you're active with us, with an IUL carrier, you can register and we'll get you set up as early as today so you can start to sell more or your first indexed UL policy. So without further ado, today's feature presentation, we have Stephen Johnson, who's going to dive into our IUL sales software. Steve?
Well, pardon me. Great presentation there. And to tell you the truth, this Principal Life thing, non-med, first time I heard of it myself. And what you're going to find out is how our Total Advantage sales system is going to help you make sure that that happens very quickly. So IUL sales, well, if you don't do IUL, like they were saying, if you're doing term or annuities and you want to get into this market, you really, really have an opportunity here between Levinson and our software. And boy, have they stepped up to the plate. 4 full months at no cost to you. It's unheard of in the industry. You've probably seen companies go, hey, you get your first 15 days, your first 30 days, but 4 months? I don't know how you could pass it up because it does truly help you double and triple your income. And you can see right here, IUL sales are just going off the chart. So it really doesn't matter what you're selling. You really should learn about IUL. And one of the things that we mention all the time is, you know, if you're already selling IUL, you don't need to talk with more people in order to double your income. You simply need to close more of the people that you do talk to. So if your closing ratio is 30%, well, you've just left a whole bunch of people on the table. But we're going to show you how either on a webinar, like we are right now, which is perfect for this new Principal Life, because you can get it done in 48 hours and get paid. That's incredible. So what is it that our calculator and sales software does? Well, one of the things that a lot of people have been doing in the past is they've literally been trying to sell an IUL. And I don't think there's a single person out there right now that wants to be sold anything. Now, do they want to buy stuff? Well, absolutely. But in order to make a purchase, especially on a retirement program, you have to understand what it is. And if you don't, and we all know that IUL can be kind of complicated, and you open up a 30-page spreadsheet, and in about 20 minutes, you've lost that deal. The majority of the time, it's really, really difficult. On top of that, when you're selling an IUL, you are not bringing in all of the emotions. Now, in order for people to make a purchase, pain and fear are what make people go, yes, I better do something. If you don't have pain and fear, and you're only talking about the benefits, well, okay, what are the benefits? Yeah, tax-free income, a death benefit, big tax savings, a huge fee savings. and the fact that they never run out of income. Now this is great, but how many people have heard of IUL? And then again, you're telling, which is selling, and people don't want to be sold. But when you use this software, and you're going to see here in just a minute, when you bring in pain and fear, those are the things that that you just want to make sure that they don't have going on with them, right? No pain, no fear, they're not going to make a move. So let's go over here. So with our software, in just about 15 minutes, you can prove to them on a mathematical basis that the IUL superior to their 401k, their TSA, whatever type of program they have, and since you're educating them and you're not selling them, they're going to end up wanting to purchase. So it's called TAC, the Total Advantage Calculator and Sales System. And again, it's very basic. It's all on one simple page. You don't have to go through a big group of spreadsheets. Very, very simple. And you can see, like in this example, the left-hand side column, this would be like a 401k. Right-hand side, this would be your IUL. In the center, we have the age. We move these buttons up and down, and all the numbers change. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to a different page. It's all right here. So this box right here, this indicates the pain. And remember, you can move the ages and all this information changes. But most people, when I ask them, they say, do you think taxes are going to go up or down? They say, well, I think taxes are going to go up. Well, you know what? In this example, because we provide sample files. So imagine, again, you're talking with somebody that you're trying to do a principal life with, and now you've got to show them why they should move that money into an IUL. And you can do it on a webinar. Now, you can do it face-to-face. You can do it whichever way is comfortable for you. But as you go through the presentation, well, again, we're going to compare on an apples-to-apples, side-by-side basis without changing the screen. We're going to show them the benefits. So by age 85, this person that was putting away $13,000 a year into their 401k, instead of putting that money into 401k, they decided to take it home. So they can put it into an IUL. That leaves them $10,000. Well, by the time they're 85, look what they've paid in taxes. Because look, in order to get $59,000 tax-free like the IUL provides, their 401k has to take out $79,000, pay $19,000 in taxes, and remember, that's without taxes going up, in order to get the same net take-home. So over their lifetime, they paid $219,000 in taxes. With the IUL, because you're paying for it after you take the money home and after you paid the taxes, it's only $86,000. That's $133,000 in taxes. And that gets people going, what? Yeah, because I've been following my CPA's advice and putting money into a tax-deferred account, but they don't take a look at what happens in the future. How about fees? Well, you know what? All 401ks, all government plans, they have two fees. They have a 401k fee and they have a mutual fund fee. They normally average about 4 to 6%. We're showing 2%. Look how much money they spent in fees with their 401k over their lifetime. By the time they ran out of money at age 76, $234,000. They only took home $659, and they ran out of money at 76. There's the pain. There's the fear, running out of money before they run out of time. And here's the benefits. Look at that. $531,000 of additional tax-free income. So at age 85, they're out of money at 76. The IUL still producing that income of $59,000 a year, and the difference between what they took home and what we provided is over $500,000. Plus, if they died at 85, they would have a death benefit to their heirs of over $344,000. Look how quickly you can explain to people and show them the math and the pain and the fear and the pleasure and say, would you like to see what your numbers would look like? And they go, well, yeah, I sure would. And then, of course, you can use that principal life and you could get a deal closed very, very quickly and get money in your pocket. So you're going to be able to prove that the IUL superior in both taxes, fees, income, and death benefit. And you do it all on one simple page. There's nothing in the industry like this, period. we've actually turned the fees of an IUL into a sales advantage tool along with taxes. And there's nobody else out there that's that. And when you can prove that information, people are going to go, yeah, I'd like to find out more about this, instead of, well, let me think about it. So what else do you get? Well, the income you can show them, and the death benefits you show them, and the total advantage, well, that's all of these numbers added up. Now, this is the true financial benefit. These numbers here, that's what caused them to run out of money at an earlier age. You can also compare a qualified to an IUL. You can compare a non-qualified plan to an IUL. Maybe they have, I don't know, $300,000-$400,000 sitting in a savings account, and they don't want to put it in the market because they're afraid that the market's going to crash again. You know what? They're right. It's going to happen again. That's just the cycle of the market. It goes up and down. We also have what's called the retirement ready or not. So you can use this and talk with them about their current plan. Okay, how much money are you putting away? How much money are you going to need? What age are you going to start taking that money out? And you can show them how long their money will last. And then, of course, you can pull the IUL back up and then do that side-by-side comparison. One of the things that we wholeheartedly believe in, and we tell you don't sell an IUL, you know what? Not only do you not want to sell an IUL, you want to verify and validate the information. Well, what's verification and validation? That's third-party visuals. This is a video from CBS 60 Minutes, and you can see right there, it's going to go through and it's going to tell them about the problems with 401ks. Here's Time Magazine and Morning Joe. There's the Time Magazine. You got a problem with the 401k. So we've got a great bunch of videos, so you don't have to tell them. You just use a validation piece, and they go, wow, this is the real deal, because they know these people. They trust them. They don't know you from Adam. The only thing they know when they first start talking is you're probably a life insurance salesman, but you're going to become an educator. So what companies can you use with this? Well, guess what? You can use any insurance company that produces a PDF. Doesn't make any difference, and that's what 99.9% of all the companies do. They illustrate with a PDF, and then you put that information into a data import template, and here's all the numbers. It's right inside of the calculator. On top of that, you're going to get a comprehensive PowerPoint that's scripted. And the purpose of this is to, again, verify and validate. So we use third-party articles, third-party visuals, etc., to help them understand why this IUL is such a beneficial program versus having their money in a high-risk environment that's subject to loss. I mean, shoot, in the past 15 years, we lost the market twice. And you can't make that up. You simply retire later, or you retire with less money. I don't need to tell you all about an IUL, but I do want to tell you a little bit more about the toolkit, because again, it's not just the calculator. You get sample files, you get the calculator, you get training videos, you get documents like from the U.S. Department of Labor, pop-ups like I showed you. We show you how to set up your first case. You have a scripted PowerPoint and third-party validation videos. I'm telling you right now, this software makes the sales process so simple that it's intuitive and compelling, because you're using pain and pleasure. If you don't have pain and fear, the majority of the time, they either have to believe you or they're going to say, hey, let me think about it. So what all do you get? Well, you get this 401k brochure. I'll bet you right now there's not one person on this call that has ever seen this. This is from the Department of Labor, and it talks about 401k plan fees and mutual fund fees. Here's another brochure from Demos. It's about 30 or 40 pages long, and it talks about the hidden excessive fees and costs inside of a 401k. We also have the Forbes magazine article, and it goes through, and it talks about the fees that are included with mutual funds and where to people put money inside of their 401k. They generally put it into mutual funds. And here's an article that just came out through Bloomberg. This guy is the father of the 401k. Yeah, this is the guy that came up with it back in the mid-1980s. And you know what? He's saying that the 401ks are badly broken because of the fees. When you provide these documents to people, they're like, wow, this is the real deal. It's not just this salesman trying to sell me something. This has some real truth to it. We also provide 10 different million-dollar marketing ideas for IULs. There's a lot of people that try and sell leads, but you know what? They're selling leads for term insurance. IUL is a totally different animal. So you need to know how and where you can go out and get in touch with people. How can you develop a market? Whether you're working with a health insurance agent, or maybe you're working with a P&C company that has all kinds of business owners' contacts. A lot of great information in here on how you can figure out how to get in front of people. Again, validation videos. Remember I told you about the Department of Labor? Video from the Department of Labor, and it talks about fees, and it shows visually how those fees negatively affect their income. And we show that in the calculator as well. Those fees are robbing them of their money. Tony Robbins talking about the expense ratio averages of 401ks. And you can see when you look at all of these are people that they know and trust. Ed Slott, all these different videos really make a difference, especially between the first and the final appointment. We also have training videos. So you get this, and how does it work? Well, how do you adjust your screen size? How do you import the sample files? All of these videos are right there just in time, so you don't have to wait, call somebody up. You just go into the training page under How To, and then we have all these videos that walk you through how to use your software. And they're short. This is 1 minute and 11 seconds. There's 1 minute and 30 seconds. There's a half a minute. This one, the biggest one, it's about 8 minutes long. So we've got a lot of these so that you can learn and train at your own speed. Now, if you don't have a pen, well, if you do have a pen, write this down. If you don't, try and remember it. The 401kalternative.com. Now, it's nice having pictures of Time Magazine, but when you go to the 401kalternative.com, you're going to see a video compilation of CBS 60 Minutes, PBS Frontline, MSNBC Morning Joe, and Time Magazine. When they watch this, and again, this is only 6 minutes long, but that's compelling. Here's people that they know and trust, people they grew up with, telling them there's some major problems with their 401ks. And then right underneath, there's a video. It's only 6 minutes long, and it talks about the 401k alternative. At the end, it says, hey, you want to see what your numbers would look like? Call the person back that sent you here. This is a tool that agents that are using this software have access to. So let's do a quick recap. You have the calculator, the PowerPoint, sample cases, pop-ups, retirement ready or not, the graphs, third-party validation, and sales ideas. Now, we don't care if you use all of it or some of it. You may have your own sales process. You can do whatever you choose with this. Especially new agents, they need a sales track to go on. So we provide that. If you have your own system, fine, use what you want. But if you don't know and you're new, I'm telling you right now, when you've got a sales track to run on and you don't have to figure it all out, that makes your life so much simpler so that you can be the person that's able to close more, double or triple. So qualified to non-qualified plans, side-by-side apples comparison, apples to apples, simple for the agent to use. By the way, if you've ever tried to use Circle of Wealth, that's a $4,000 or $5,000 expense, and it takes, oh, good grief, lots and lots and lots of time, and I'm talking 40, 60, 80 hours of time or more just to figure out how to make this thing work. So there's a lot of other systems, but they don't use pain, fear, pleasure. They don't show the fees. They don't compare the taxes. All of ours are done on one simple page. And again, what's Levinson doing? They're providing this to you for free. They're picking up the cost. They believe in you so much and this software that they're going to pay for it for 4 full months. Not 15 days, not 30 days, 4 full months. We have live webinars every week to help you understand and to answer your questions. So if you are already signed up with Levinson and they give you the information, you have to remember when you come to this screen, you've got to put Levinson in here in order to get that for free for those 4 months. If you don't fill this in, we're not going to know to give you the discount. So when they send you that information, make sure that you fill it all out and you put Levinson in your primary IMO FMO. A 4-month trial provided by Levinson. Give them a call now. If you're not linked up with Levinson, if you don't have a contract with them after what you've seen today and you don't take advantage of it, you're going to be missing out on one of the best opportunities to double or triple your income. Not a lot left for me to say, except if you don't do this, it's like going to war with a knife when everybody else has cannons. It's just not going to work. It's going to be very, very difficult. Let me not say it's not going to work. Everybody's going to make some sales, but would you rather make $100,000 to $300,000 a year, or do you want to make $50,000 to $100,000 a year? That's how powerful this system is. I want to thank Levinson for having me on. I want to turn this back over to them. They'll close this out. So be sure, everybody, get back in touch with them and make this happen.
Thank you, Steve. Great job, as always. We appreciate you taking the time. And let me just explain, too, because how Steve mentioned this, yes, we do pay for 4 months for all of our agents. And then after that point, as long as you're writing with us and you're at least $5,000 a premium, then we keep paying for this. So it winds up not costing you a penny. But everybody does get a 4-month trial at no cost to you. So keep that in mind.
One quick thing.
And then, yep.
At the end of the 4 months, everybody, by the way, the cost of the software is only $39.95 a month. So let's just say you take the first 4 months and you're in the verge of closing a deal, but it hasn't happened yet. Okay, you pay $40. A month later, you get your deal in, you've met the obligation, and guess what? Levinson's going to pay for a full year.
Exactly.
So thank you. Sorry about that.
Yep. No, thank you. Yeah, that's exactly right. So everybody gets a 4-month shot. And then as long as you're writing, when you're at that $5,000 mark, we pay for the entire year. And then, of course, it starts over year 2. And by that time, if you're using the software like we're explaining, you should have no problems meeting that minimum. So very, very achievable. And at least it's worth that 4-month trial. Okay, we have just a few more slides, and then we'll give away our tablet here. Our upcoming agent training events, which is what you're on right now. We have 4 coming up here that we'll just highlight quickly. On the 29th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to dive into advanced case marketing and policy valuations. Okay, this is great for policy review, business insurance. We really just take things and dive in a little deeper. On the 30th, the next day, we go over survivorship, universal life products, and sales trainings. And then we also talk about some great sales ideas where you can use SUL products. On the 31st, we're going to dive into that brand new Principal Life IUL that we just went over. That's the simplified issue indexed UL up to $1 million, all non-med with living benefits. So we have a training webinar on the 31st, Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. On September 15th, right below that, 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to talk about our brand new orphan policy holder lead program. This is huge, and after years and years of agents asking for a program like this, we are finally releasing the first version, and this is awesome. We have thousands and thousands of leads that are sitting here, okay? And as long as you're active with us, if you hit at least $10,000 of paid premium, okay, starting January, so you had almost a year. If you're at that level, then we will send you your free batch of leads. Now, even if you're close to 10,000, that's fine. You still have a few more months until the end of the year. And as soon as you hit that mark, boom, we send you an email with your free leads, and we put together a whole program around the orphan policy lead list. So you're going to hear from one of our top agents out of Texas who is now using the program for us and with us, and he's going to talk about some of his tips and why the program is working for him. So great stuff there. That webinar is September 15th, 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, moving forward here, we always want to be your go-to for anything technology related, and we like to think that we're one step ahead of our competition with all of the latest technology platforms, lead programs, and we feel that we truly are, and I say that sincerely, and I think if you've been with us for a while now, I think the proof is in the pudding. And this is just another tool in the latest technology called e-requirement. And especially if you're selling over the phone in various cities or states, and let's just say you're using e-applications and you're in and out, and let's say an underwriter says, oh, you know what, Bill, I see your client here is a scuba diver, and we need this scuba questionnaire filled out. Well, in the past, you would have to print the form, email it or mail it to your client, wait for them to fill it out, sign it, send it back to you. You send it back to us. We forward it to the company. You can lose lots of time, okay, which obviously can delay your commission cycle and, of course, delay the policy for going in force. So with our new e-requirement tool, you see that Bill Levinson needs a scuba questionnaire. You simply log on to our website. It's all single sign-on. Okay, you pull up that particular client, click on Scuba Questionnaire. The form literally uploads in seconds in front of you on your computer screen. If you have your client on the phone or in front of you, you can both fill it out, hit submit, you are done. That form gets sent, obviously, to us, right to the underwriter, and it's approved in real-time fashion, so typically within 24 hours. So you're going to save a lot of turnaround time with this process, and most important, it's free to you. So if you went directly to the vendor, this is $2 per transaction. With Levinson, it's free, it's unlimited transaction. So another great value added. So very important, Levinson e-requirement is now available. Okay, moving forward here, our broker gear system. This is awesome. Most of our agents don't even know this is available. If you go onto our website, kerrylevinson.com, you click on case status where that little red highlight is in the top right corner. You can see all of your cases, all of your licensing, everything updated in real-time fashion from the carriers and from our case managers. So as soon as a case is approved, you will see it here in your broker gear window. Now, this is great if you have any agents under you, because you can look at all of your business and then look at all of your downline's business, so you know exactly what bonus you're getting and what is coming in at the end of the month, so you're not in the dark with anything. And if you don't have a hierarchy, what a great time to build a hierarchy. Okay, you know all of the value added that Levinson brings to the table. So imagine you can go out this and market the same thing. Start building your hierarchy. We do all of the work for you. And now with broker gear and our 24/7 case status, you are not in the dark with anything. So even if you don't have agents, but everybody should be using this tool. And of course, it's free to all active agents. Okay, moving forward here, there's actually three things that I'm extremely excited about of things that are going on here at Levinson & Associates. And if you want to jot this down, number one, of course, is our IUL Sales software that we just released this year. Number two is our Orphan Policyholder Lead Program. Awesome free program to all agents that qualify. Like I said, even if you haven't qualified, $10,000 a premium and you are there, we send you an email with your free lead so you can start the program that day. The third thing that I'm very excited about, and we haven't even officially launched this yet, is our brand new agency automator and lead generation program. Okay, this is going to be free to all agents who qualify. Even if you're brand new with us and you haven't even written an app yet, it's a co-op price of $25. Okay, and that's a complete CRM tool. and it's a lead generator. It gives you all of the databases that you need to dive into, let's say, e-blasting to a certain demographic. It does everything for you. It's your complete back office. So we actually spoke about the Agency Automator. It's been almost a year ago. We finally are coming to the market with that. You will see it launched in about 2 to 3 weeks here. So those are the 3 most exciting things that are going on in the industry and here at Levinson. The Orphan Policyholder Lead Program, IUL Sales Software System, and number 1 is our Agency Automator and Lead Generation System. That will be out in just a couple of weeks. I just wanted to talk about it. We don't even have a slide on the program. That's how new it is, and we are so excited about it. We had our last meeting this morning, and we can't wait to bring it to our agents. So with that said, we have our last slide here, and we'll close up today's presentation. I just want to mention 2 quick things. The first one is, if you go on our Facebook page, Levinson and Associates, leave a comment about your experience with us, and of course that could be good and bad. We know it's mostly going to be good, but we are going to pick the 50th comment, and we'll send out a free tablet. So if you can do that, we would appreciate it. And also for today's winner, that's Blake T. Blake T is our 100th registrant on today's webinar, so congratulations to you. And I'm going to end with this last motivational saying here. If you know me pretty well, you know I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. In fact, I love everything that is motivational, and that brings a positive energy to what we do in our personal and our business lives. So anything to keep us on track day in and day out, I'm all about and a huge fan of. So we'll end with this by Tony Robbins. Whatever you hold in your mind on a consistent basis is exactly what you will experience in your life. That's business and personal, and especially in the life insurance world that we're all in every day. With that said, have a great rest of the day, a great week, great weekend, and good selling. Take care.